All right, so we are live now finally. People, welcome
Yes.
to Roads Untraveled by In That Matters. This is your host, Shireen Nishan. And today we have our guest, that's Miss Christine Souza. And she works for a corporate company and also she is a plus size model. So we will know more about her. First of all, welcome, Christine. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Welcome, welcome. So, how does it feel? You are being in this show, and we're actually supposed to go around at 5:30, and now we are back at 7:30. So, how does it feel like?
Well, we did have our ups and downs because I had to make sure that my work schedule does not get affected with this show. I
Right.
wouldn't lie, but I'm very nervous. Um, but I'm
Okay.
glad that I was given the opportunity to come here and speak. So I'm looking forward to the questions that come my way, and I'll try and do my
All
best
right.
and speak as much as I
My
can.
pleasure.
Yes.
My pleasure to see. It's a pleasure having you on the
Thank
show.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
So, how do you start your career with? You started your career with modeling, or you started your career with the corporate life that you are going through side by side. So, how did you start your career life? So, was
Well,
modeling your
I start.
forte, or did you just give it a try? Like,
No, it was not on my books at all. It was nothing that I actually saw myself ever doing. I was more of when I got out of college, my thing was simple, just work and just normal stuff. And so I started my career by working into sales. Sales is what I did for good 11 years, and I was comfortable doing that. And then modeling, I don't know how it came my way. I sometimes, lie down on my bed and wonder, like, how did I even get into this? Because I remember somebody got in touch with me on Instagram and they saw my pictures and they said, we would like to do a shoot with you. And but for me, it was like, you always have this perception about where there's glamour, there's a lot of other things that also involved in terms of women's safety. So I was really not
right,
sure if um, it is a path for me or not. And therefore, I said, okay, I thought over it. I slept on it. And then I was like, okay, let me just do this. And then I did the shoot in my house because I had this condition that I would do it
okay,
in my house, that I know that I'm in a comfortable zone. I said, I'm going to use
right,
my own clothes also. And then, yeah, I went ahead and did that shoot. And it was all over Instagram. And then what happened was Maven Plus Size came along. And it was something that I was very keen. Because after having two kids, your body definitely goes through a huge
right,
change, something that you're not very used to, very comfortable with as well. But then it is what it is, because you've got these beautiful creatures out of you, so obviously your body is going to change. There are some
right,
mothers who are really lucky and they get back in shape immediately, but some of us still struggle. And so I thought to myself, if I actually stick and keep thinking about how I'm going to keep cribbing about how I look or complain about how I have a flab, I'm never going to be able to love myself or wear what I like, you know.
right,
So when Maven came along, I actually wanted to get into it just to prove a point that, we could be mums, we could be chubbier, and we could still feel sexy. You don't have to be a size 0 or a size 4 to look
exactly,
pretty or feel beautiful. You know, it is your body. Unless you learn to love your own body or respect your own body, the other person will never love you back. And therefore, then Maven came along, and the journey was just absolutely stunning, amazing, but exhausting. But every one of us loved every bit of it. So, yeah. So, modeling was never my forte, was never something I was pursuing. It just bumped, and
right.
I liked the break. It was good.
Okay. That's wonderful, and you look as beautiful as you are. So it is not that you have to take any extra efforts. I've seen your
Thank you.
journey. I've seen your we know through social media, and I've seen your pictures, your journey, and the way you come across. You're beautiful inside out. So
Thank
no
you.
issues on
Appreciate you
that.
saying that.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So now you are still continuing with your modeling career, or it was just one of a short like, or are you still
Well,
pursuing your modeling career?
well, I'll be honest with you. I already am, a working professional, and I love my job. I love what I do. Modeling was something that like I said, I just picked it up because, I was like, why don't I just give it a try? It was just like a stunt, I would say. But after Maven, a lot of people did approach me for short films, for YouTube channels and other um, modeling for a clothing brand and all of that. One thing that I'd like to put out on the show is that you know it's not very easy. There are a lot of things that you have to be prepared mentally as a woman to be okay with it, and a part of me was not okay with it because um, what can I say? I'm quite stubborn when it comes to my goals and what I want in life. So for me, modeling was not something that I really was desperate to chase or um, try to be out there or put myself out there, no matter what the cost is. It was more
Hmm.
of me just feeling beautiful and confident, which I think I have been successfully been able to feel that. So I no longer feel the urge to actually be out there and do that. That being said, I am open to projects that I feel I will be comfortable in doing it. But I do have my reservations on certain projects that come my way. So I wouldn't say I'm very keen in pursuing modeling because I'm very happy with the job that I do. And yeah, I pretty much pay my bills, so I'm not that hungry.
Great, great, great. Very rarely you see people who are balanced, like not chasing behind fame or money, and they know what they want in life, and
Yeah,
they're quite balanced in their mind. So it's very rare these
yeah,
days when people are chasing behind fame and money. They just need a chance. So whatever
yeah.
way they get the fame, they want to grab it. But you are different in that kind of way. I actually never expected this answer, so that is why I had to put forth my view. Anyway, so you did your plus size modeling. So were you comfortable
Hmm.
being categorized or called as a plus size model, or did you have some kind of something that which will tell you that no, I didn't want to be called that way, and simply categorize me as a model or something? Did you have that kind of a reservation or something, or you were cool about being called as a plus size model? How do you see
Honestly,
that?
I didn't even know that there was actually a word called plus size for women that are on the chubbier side. I didn't even know that there was actually a platform for women who are quite larger than the actual perception of a model. So I was really glad when they said there's something like plus size. And I know for a fact, see, every woman knows how their body is. And there's no shame
Right,
in admitting that this is what your body is, you know.
right,
So
right.
I was really happy when I got to know that this is a plus size modeling contest. And I
Mm.
felt no shame or any kind of, weirdness of any sort of me being part of it because I felt that that is where I belonged. And you will not believe,
Right,
Shireen, the different women that I met at the show was just amazing because everyone had a different story. Everyone had their own journeys. Um, the struggles that they have gone through. I mean, there have been women who've spoken openly about how their marriage came to an end because of the weight, their body weight. And it was very surprising to me that somebody would leave you because you look a certain way. It's
right.
just, I mean, whatever happened
That's
to
good.
beauty lies within your heart or whatever. I think that's pretty much faded nowadays, because right now everything is more of how you are exterior rather than how you are from within. I mean, I do understand that the first impression always is the last, but then things like this is very hurtful to hear. So when I would hear all this around me, and the way every one of us felt, we felt like we actually belonged here. We felt like this is um like our zone, when no one's judging anyone, no one's talking
Exactly.
about someone who's got bigger thighs or a bigger, bum, or say flabby arms. No one was talking about anyone or pinpointing or looking at you, in a weird manner. Everyone was looking at each other with nothing but praise and appreciation, because you could see that all of us were just lifting each other up instead of, putting down each other. So it was beautiful. And I'm glad that, something like plus size modeling does exist. And it's very motivating for women that are of, different sizes to actually look into clothing that would also suit their bodies and also make them feel that, okay, yeah, they can also carry it off rather than, just the slimmer ones carrying the stuff off. So yeah, it's good.
Right, right, right. That's wonderful. I'm glad that it happened to you. So you came to know, how people, can survive without judging too. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that it happened to you. Yeah.
I mean,
So
not
now,
that I was ever, yeah.
right.
I mean, not that I was,
Yeah.
yeah, not that I was ever bothered about any kind of judgment that would come my
Right.
way, because I've
Right.
always been unapologetic about the way I am. And I mean, I don't let the judgments affect me. I'm not saying I'm this perfect person who has everything in place. And there are times when I do break down and it gets to me. I do have my emotional days as well. But most of the time, I just prefer not even like letting it affect me, because, you know, as a human being, I think it's very easy for one person to judge the other person, because you really don't know what their story is. You really don't know what goes deep down into their lives.
Right.
And it's absolutely bizarre when I find someone talking about somebody without knowing nothing about that person.
Nothing about that
um
person. Yes.
yeah, and it is definitely hurtful, disrespectful also. But at the same time, I think you just have to understand that some people are just going to talk because that is what they do.
They just
So
want to.
why? Yeah, it is what it is. So why bug yourself, or why even like let that affect you? Because what they say or don't say is not going to change anything about you. you
Correct.
know just, yeah, get on with
Yeah,
it.
so that's nice. That's nice to know that, we shouldn't be bothered about the comments or the judgments that people pass without even knowing what is going on in our lives. That's actually a very
Yeah.
good aspect to actually lead your life. All right, so when we're talking about this, what do you think about you or your style that, attracts people, be your friends, your family, or your colleagues? What is that one thing you think that, people like about you? As a person. It may be a style or, whatever it might be. So, what do you think is that one thing that people get attracted
I think you should ask the
if I
people
may
that.
ask? They
No.
must have complimented you. They must have told you as to what they
So
like about you.
a lot of them, I mean, let me start off by saying, when I did the Maven thing, a lot of women, I didn't even, know them. They were not even on my friends list on Facebook. They reached out to me on IG, on Instagram, and Facebook, and spoke about how encouraged they felt with the fact that I was confident about what I was doing, and I really didn't care about the way I looked. I didn't worry about whether I have a stomach or whether I have thick thighs. I really didn't give any um, any attention to all of that. I just wanted to do my thing. So
Right.
that's nice to hear, the fact that I was able to encourage or inspire, a huge group of women. At the same time, I think what everyone does like about me um, is the fact that I'm confident. Yeah. I mean, I speak my mind. I've always spoken my mind. Um, I don't believe in sugarcoating things. I say it the way it is. And I know it comes across as a blunt person sometimes, but then I feel it's very important that you speak your mind and you clear what's in your head so that you understand what to do next, you know. And when it comes to my clothing style, I don't believe in expensive brands or, I should only shop from Mango or Aldo is the best, or I should just only pick up stuff from maybe Burberry. No, I'm more of what material would look nice on me, or for me, it's more of how soft the dress is, how stretchy the dress is. Let's be honest, it has to go down me. So that's one
Yeah.
thing. I love colors. I've started loving colors. So I'm still experimenting on what would look good on me. But one thing in common that I have with whatever, with my style, especially, is that I really don't care. I don't care what someone has to
I
say. I
I
will
love
wear
that
the damn
answer.
outfit. I will
I
wear
just
the
love
damn
that answer.
outfit and just strut and do my stuff. Whether you like it or you don't like it, I don't care. Because it's my body and I'm going to wear the damn dress. It's as
Right.
simple as that. So you
And
can
I want to
comment, you
tell
can
you,
say, you can say whatever you want to say, but then I'm still going to do my thing, you know. So yeah.
exactly. And I want to tell you that is what I like about you, that you speak your mind and you are not bothered about what people think or how people react to your posts or your pictures or your life. And that is one
Yeah.
thing that actually got attracted me towards you. For me to invite you on this show. I just love that. That is how
Thank you.
anybody has to be, for them to lead the life, them to lead a happy and peaceful life, in fact. That is
And
more
that's very
important.
important. Yeah.
Yes,
Because
that's
unless
really
you
important.
have that peace within yourself, it can be very destructive, and I've been in that zone. And so I would never want anyone to feel that way because you have to feel peaceful. And I believe one should do whatever makes you peaceful because at the end of the day, this is your life. Only you know your struggles, only you know your demons, and you're the only one fighting it, not anyone else.
Right,
So why even bother what someone has to say?
right, right, right. It's wonderful. And we have some comments here. Welcome, welcome, audience. Welcome, Shagufta ji. Good evening. Welcome, Rashida ji. How are you? Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining our show. And now, speaking about that, Christine, how do you overcome the barriers, in your life? For example, the internet trolls, if I may, specify. You might speak about any barriers in life, but I'm just specifying one particular thing, internet trolls, which is just going over the board these days. So, how do you tackle that? So, or
What
have you
role?
faced
What
any
what
internet
role are you
trolls?
saying? The internet.
Internet trolls. Yeah. So that is going just
Yeah.
over the board these days. So how do you
Dude.
tackle that, or how do you manage those things to keep the mind sane? Like, so how do you do that?
Oh my God. Okay. So, like I said, um, I am the way I am. I don't tolerate any kind of nonsense.
Mm.
So, I have, if you look at my inbox, you will find zillion messages, you know, and most of them are nasty.
Oh my
Nasty in a
God,
way
really?
where they expect you to respond to their messages where they don't understand the simple logic that I'm not obliged to answer to any of your messages if I don't want to. Yeah, you
Right,
cannot force somebody to answer you or reply to you, which some of the fools don't understand. So and then I get terrible messages. Sometimes I have people who, it's like for a second I would go on Facebook just to maybe check some notification that, somebody must have commented on my picture or whatever. And then my messenger starts ringing off the hook. And I find that absolutely irritating and annoying because sometimes I just want to look into Facebook, just browse, just, check out some stuff. I'm not here to actually chat or do anything. And then if I don't respond or pick up the calls, then they send me all these weird messages. I have men sending me nude pictures. And sometimes it really gets to you, it bothers you because um, the nude pictures follow with very nasty comments. And I find that very bizarre that you would say this to somebody just because they're not responding to you. So there are times when I ignore it, and I used to ignore it. Then reached a time when I'm like, I'm not going to ignore it. So my way of tackling it is, and I'm not saying everyone should do this, but this is what I do, is that I will actually post it on my wall. I'll post it on my wall and I will tag that person and I'll say, okay, this is what you wanted to show me. Now let everyone just see it.
That's
so before you
bang
know,
on. That's bang on. That's so you actually. That's bang on.
So
And
before you
that is
know
what
it,
I've started doing too.
I think that is what you should do. I mean, I don't understand. And I was one of those women. I used to get scared the minute I used to see these disgusting pictures in my inbox and freak out. And I thought to myself, why am I scared? That is not my picture. That is some um, mental person who decided to send me this picture, right? So since he's this keen of showing how manly he is, how about we share his manlyhood with everyone, right? So the prospective people
exactly.
can get in touch with him, and he could get what he wants, isn't it? So I then
Exactly.
go on my wall, I share it, and I tag the guy, and I say, okay, fine. And there are times I even let the wives know that listen, this is what your man's up to. So teach him a lesson over it.
That's right. That's right. I guess any woman,
So the
any
wife,
girl
the
has to
wife should
start
know
doing
what
this.
your husband is up to. I think it's the fear that most of women have that of how they would be judged. The fear of judgment is something that always runs everyone's head. And I'm not just saying for women, even men. Men feel judged also most of the time.
Right.
It's just that they don't say it out because that's what they've been taught. They've been taught to act strong, pretend a certain way. That doesn't mean that they don't get judged for their body or for their behavior or for whatever that they've gone through in life. We all get judged at some point. My thing is, why fear or why be scared about you being judged if you know in your heart that you are absolutely right? Why give a damn anyway? They're not the ones feeding you. They're not the ones taking care of your bills or doing anything for you for that matter. So why care? It's as simple as that. So that's my way of dealing with internet drama.
That's actually the best way of dealing with the internet trolls. I guess everybody out there who's
Yeah.
been through trolls or who are going through this shit, they'll have to, start doing this
Yeah.
so that they can bring that thing down.
Absolutely.
So that's actually the best way. So anybody who's
Yeah.
watching the show, please learn as to how you can tackle internet trolls. In case you're going through it, you don't have to stay quiet. There is a way how things can be handled, and there is a way how you can, get your peace of mind whenever you are online.
Yeah.
So that's how Christine
Yeah.
does that. All right. So, Christine, when talking about all these things, what do you think is your biggest insecurity in life, or do you have one? What would you call
well,
your
now,
biggest insecurity in life?
now you're gonna make me all emotional. Um, my biggest insecurity in life is that I will not be loved enough.
Right.
And I say this is because of my past experiences that I've dealt with in life. So that's my biggest insecurity. I mean, when when you've been hurt multiple times over a period of time, um,
Mm.
despite you giving it your all, you reach a point in your life where no matter how much somebody tries to treat you the right way, you sort of find a way to mess it up, you know? And I feel that I have the capability of messing things up because my life has never been drama free. And therefore, when something goes really smooth, I start freaking out because I think to myself, why is everything going smooth? It's not supposed to go smooth. There should be something somewhere that should go wrong. So,
You're more like me, I
I,
guess. I I have the same insecurity in life, so we share a few things in common. So that's
well,
the reason I had put up this question is because I wanted to know a third person's view as to what their insecurity might be, because that was my insecurity all the while. So that's what I was thinking. So now
yeah.
I'm hearing it from another person. Now I feel confident enough. I feel okay. I have a person along with me. All
I
right.
mean, I think, all of us at some point do feel that we just shy away from expressing ourselves. Um, Again, because we have the fear that we'll be judged because we are way too vulnerable, or somebody may take advantage of the way we feel. Um, but I've reached a point in my life where I've pretty much covered and checked all those boxes. So now it's like there are days when I feel numb, I absolutely feel nothing. And there are days when I'm like a huge balloon of love. So, you know, I'm balancing both of my feelings. Uh,
Right.
but yeah, and I'm trying to overcome the insecurity, of course, because I don't want to feel like that for the rest of my life. Hopefully, I will get over it.
We will. We will actually. We will together. Anyways, all right. So
Let's
let's
do this.
come out of this, the emotional den. So let's,
Yes.
to talk about something else. So your modeling career. So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about that, because that is where you felt very happy, you were confident, and you spent, some of the best times there. So let's talk about that. So in regards to the plus size industry, which you've worked with,
Mm-hmm.
so what are the aspects
Yeah.
you love about it, and what are the aspects that you don't like about that industry pertaining to plus size industry?
Well, what I like is that it gives
Yes.
you the opportunity to showcase your curves, flaunt your curves. What I don't like is that it's not always about the curves, if you know what I mean. It's more than that. Um, what I don't like is that you make a woman feel beautiful the way she is. You say, okay, your curves are magnificent and they are beautiful, they're this, they're that. And then you ask that same woman to pay a price that involves compromising her integrity, which is
Hmm.
nasty. Because
Exactly.
then you rub it on her face saying that, listen, you are plus size, there's no much market for you. Then why the hell you contact the person in the first place,
Right.
right?
Right.
If you know
Makes
there's
sense.
so much market for plus size modeling in India, why get in touch? Why talk all these lovely things only to get into someone's pants? That's very
Right.
bizarre. And that's the only thing what I don't like about plus size modeling, especially in India. Rather in Western countries, if you see, it's blooming. It's amazing. I mean, I
Yes.
follow some amazing Instagram pages that involves plus size modeling in other countries, and the way it's done, it's done so gracefully. Even a lingerie model who's a plus size is captured so beautifully and so gracefully. You know, when you look at the picture, you don't look at it with vulgarity. You look at it as,
Right.
oh, it's a beautiful picture. You look at it as the confidence that she portrays. You know, the sexiness that's coming out of her. You don't look at her, oh, she's a naked woman in a bra and an underwear. You know what I mean? I
Right.
think that's where the mentality of the Indian society needs to change. And only then I think women will be more comfortable doing any kind of modeling, I suppose, whether it's plus size or whether it's normal. Yeah.
It's a wonderful answer, Christine. Seriously. All right. So your style is actually always on point. I've been, watching you on the Facebook, the social media, the pictures that you portray. I always like your style. It's always unique. It's more you. You don't, tend to be somebody else. You tend to be yourself there. So where do you get that inspiration from?
I try.
The kind of clothing or the style that you portray. Where do you grasp that inspiration from?
I honestly don't. I don't get that inspiration from anywhere. I think it's just me inspiring myself. Because after I had my two boys, there was a time in my life when I wasn't feeling sexy at all. You know, I would try and hide behind the most loose clothing I had in my wardrobe.
Mm.
I had forgotten how to wear my heels. I was comfortable wearing flats or sneakers. I was just comfortable being or hiding my body and not facing the reality that this is what it is, you know. So I don't know what happened. Was it overnight or whatever? But it was more of me slowly progressing into a butterfly, I would feel. You know how it slowly gets out of their cocoon.
Right.
And yeah, I just started changing. Like I thought to myself, listen, if I'm going to wait for what another 10 years, because I think it's going to take me 10 years to to get back to shape to wherever I was earlier. I said I'm going to lose out on all the fashion trends, you know.
Right.
And if I have to feel sexy or wear something, this is the time.
This is the
And
time. Yes.
why, yeah, and why do I have to like wait for my body to be of a certain shape and then I would wear something? So
Right.
I thought to myself, it's very stupid on my part to even sulk or be depressed or be worried about the fact that I cannot carry off any clothing like the way I want to, which actually I can. It's just a mindset that I had to clear. That yes, I could do it. And then I just started experimenting. I mean, I had stuff in my wardrobe that I would use. I have a friend in Goa called Kasha who designs clothes. So she would always send me the clothes that she has, that she's looking to sell, and I would just pick up stuff from her, and then I would like mix and match and do things. And yeah, just I mean, a girl's got to do what she's got to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Budget me,
Exactly.
budget me kapde pehno. So I just did that. Yeah.
Right. What are some of the? So you are a fashionista yourself. You design your own clothes. You wear your heart in your sleeves. So if you could give some tips to women with curves, what would that be? Some styling tips or some tips for them to carry themselves. What would that
Your voice is very like you're breathing. Did I? Oh, damn. Can you hear me?
be? Christy, you there? You able to hear me?
I am, yes. But it's like your
Yeah.
video,
Okay.
I can hear you, but your video is paused. So I couldn't get your question.
All right. The question I was asking, if you could give some tips, some styling tips or fashion tips for women with curves or plus size, what would that be? Because you are a fashionista yourself, so what would be a few of the styling or fashion tips that you would give to people who are actually watching right now with us,
Well,
especially
honestly, I
plus
wouldn't call
size
myself
women.
a fashionista. I
All right,
wouldn't call
I've
myself
seen
a
the way
fashionista
you
at all
carry
because I'm
yourself.
still I'm still trying to learn and get there. I think the most important tip is that do not follow anyone else, because what may work for someone else may not work for you. You know your body more than anyone else, you know. Always wear things that you are comfortable with, not because you have to prove a point.
Exactly.
Secondly, I don't necessarily agree that you have to show skin to look sexy. You
Right.
know, people have that mindset that you have to show skin
Yeah.
to look very sexy. You could be draped in a beautiful sari and still look sexy. And I personally love saris. I love saris. So nothing is as sexy as a sari. Um,
Right.
but a few tips I would say is, if you are, say, of a pear shaped, like the way I am, like I'm a pear, near my stomach. So if I'm wearing, let's just say, an A-line dress or a bodycon dress, I would always have some sort of a blazer or a coat or anything that actually gives you that curve that you need, because it hides the sides and it gives you the extra confidence that you need. There are times when I don't even wear the coat because I'm like, what am I hiding? You know, it is what it is. So um, I don't know. Some sometimes when you do your eye makeup, right, it kind of actually lets everything else fall in place. Because I've realized that there are times when I go to work
Right.
and I just want to do my
That's a
eye
very good
makeup,
point.
even if it's a simple salwar kameez. If you do a good eye makeup, you feel good, and then you feel the rest of the clothing also kind of like goes well with everything, and you feel good. So I think these are like simple tips here and there. I think more importantly is like, you should just feel good in your skin. I think that's the biggest tip. Other than that,
Right.
everything else will just automatically fall in place. I mean, a good night skin routine, make sure that you do a weekly cleanup and all that. I mean, basic stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, nothing like hi-fi or completely out of the box. Just simple stuff where you actually take care of yourself, where you feel that you should do this so that you can feel good. Because a lot of them actually sometimes they'll ask me like, why you get your nails done, or why are you even dressed like this? And I'm like, for myself. You know, I don't have to dress to impress anyone. I dress to make myself good, make myself feel good, or my day
Absolutely.
go well. There could be so many things. Yeah, do it for yourself, no? Why for others? Because you know how tight the dress is. No one else does.
Right,
So
right,
you're
right.
doing it for yourself.
So be
Yeah,
yourself and feel good in the skin that you are in. So these are some of the the best
yeah.
styling tips that anybody could give. You actually didn't go into the actual the technicalities, but you actually told us how anybody could carry themselves. That was a very actually a good thing. All right. Now, Christine, you are a working mother and you have two kids to look after too also. So how do you make that work-life balance? And how does that work out for you?
Well, to be honest with you, I do feel guilty that I don't get to spend as much time as I want with my boys, because I am a working mom. So I work Monday to Friday, and then weekends I'm off. But then on
Mm.
weekends, I spend half of my day sleeping because I'm catching up with my sleep of the entire, week.
Mhm.
Um, I have a full time nanny in place for the boys. But
Mm.
balancing kids and work is not easy at all. You know, um, I've been in a few mothers group where they actually are very judgmental when it comes to working moms, because they feel that the ones who are 24/7 are more hardworking than the ones who actually work outside. What they don't realize is that you are working outside, you're also working at home, and you are
Right.
also taking care of the kids. We're doing the same thing. The only difference is we step out, we work, we come back, which I think is is important. I think every woman should be financially independent and should work, because not only gives you a break from motherhood, it also keeps you financially independent. It also makes you strong headed, and you don't have to depend on anyone for your needs. Number one.
Right.
Second of all, when you come back from work, it gives you a good 8 hours of break from your kids, because, you know, let's be honest, kids are difficult. They are a lot of work. There are times when you just want to run away to save your life. And I've done that. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. There are days when I've locked myself in a room and I didn't get out because I just didn't want to deal with all the crying and the chaos, you know. And a lot of mothers actually live with that guilt that they're not able to give their kids the amount of time that they should, because that's the amount of pressure the society has put on us, that we are portrayed in a different way. Like mothers are kept in a different basket altogether. Like you're a mom, so you have to behave a certain way, you have to dress up a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, you have to walk a certain way. For me, it is like, show me the damn book, because I want to read the book that says walk, talk, eat, sleep, do things, a list that's written for mothers, especially. you know so balancing is definitely difficult, and I do have my struggles, but I try as much as I can, to give my boys the time that I can possibly give, on weekends or even on weekdays. And now with the working from home thingy, they're around me the whole time. I just had to ask them to get out of the room right now because I had to get on the show with you. Other than that, you would see them just like coming every 2 minutes complaining about, the other one has taken the remote, or he's not giving back my shoes, or he's stolen my gun. So all of that. So I I would say hats off to mothers that balance, um, work and, you know, kids beautifully. I'm still getting there. I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist. I still have a lot of learning, because no one teaches you motherhood. No one teaches
Right.
you how to be a mother. It comes to you when you've least expect it. And so we all tend to do mistakes and we learn from our mistakes. And I think it's a learning process. So I think women need to stop being hard on themselves and just accept it that you will make those mistakes, and it's okay to make those mistakes. I mean, come on, you know, as long
I'm
as
definitely sure that your kids will definitely appreciate what their mom is doing for them, and they'll definitely appreciate what you do and the time that you spend with them. I'm really sure about that. That much I'm
well,
confident because all
time,
kids do at some
yeah,
given point in time. All kids do. Maybe not now, maybe
I'm gonna,
later.
yes, yes, I'm gonna leave that on time. So I'm not gonna jump my gun
Right.
right now and say that they're very appreciative, because you know, yeah, the kids are those creatures who say things the way it is, and so they definitely say mean things, which they actually don't mean. But then,
Right.
I hope they understand why I did, uh,
They will.
certain things. I hope they understand that I'm trying to provide them to the best of my ability. Um, and most importantly, I
Definitely.
hope
They
they
will.
grow up to be amazing men who respect women and their future wives and girlfriends,
Now
whatever.
that they are very, small kids, so probably they lack that understanding. So when they get that maturity, they will definitely be able to appreciate all that you do for them and you will be doing for them. So that much I'm sure. That I can actually guarantee
Yeah,
you.
well,
So that the kids will understand you when they get that kind of a maturity. Now they're, pretty small, so we can't expect a lot from them.
yeah,
All right. So
I
anyway,
agree.
now you in your introduction you had mentioned that you play violin. So you learned violin, or it's just a hobby, or how's it? Do you play regularly? and you also sing. That's what you said. So
Uh,
is that how you
yeah.
unwind
So
yourself, violin and singing?
so there was a time that I used to play violin quite smoothly. Um, and then something happened and I stopped. So now I'm getting back to that. You will not believe this is really funny. So I bought the violin, I think 3 years ago, and then I used to have nail extensions because I love nail extensions. Okay, so I get this trainer home. He comes home and he says, "Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna teach you how to play the violin. Na na na, blah blah blah. But you have to get rid of your nails." And I'm like, "That is not happening." So I said, "See you. Bye bye." And he left.
That must be a nightmare.
So I never got rid of nails.
Okay.
Purely because he said I have to cut my nails and not have those extensions. And I thought to myself, how can I live without not having extensions on my nails? Because that is something I've done for years, you know? Like I feel incomplete if I don't have my nails done. That's my thought. So I did not touch the violin. I threw it far away in my wardrobe somewhere where it doesn't remind me or make me feel guilty because it
The
was either
nails
the
one.
violin or my nails. I had to choose. Yeah, the nails one. So I had to choose between, and I chose my nails. So
Okay.
now this lockdown thing happened, and so my
Right.
nail technician was not able to come and visit me and do my nails.
Okay. So now's the
And
time
then
for
I met,
violin.
yeah, and then I met someone in my life who pretty much showed me that my nails are pretty. This may sound
Okay.
bizarre, but it
Okay.
was it was hilarious for me to actually believe that my nails are pretty. And I would keep looking at my tiny hands. And I'll be like, no, they're terrible because I've been so used to having nail extensions. So when I started actually seeing my normal nail, I felt like my fingers were naked or something, you know.
Okay.
But this lockdown basically has taught me and that particular person as well that my nails are pretty the way they are. So like I said, self acceptance in every form has been a learning experience for me, and I'm still learning. So now I'm happy with my tiny nails, but I'm still not able to find someone who can come and teach me the violin. So I play it, but I play it terribly. So there are
All
yeah, so
right.
there
So
are times
let's
when I when
come
I
down to
do
your.
look at my violin, I sit and I try to play a few notes, but yeah, I've not been able to do that.
All right. So you sing also. So what kind of songs do you sing? What is that you like singing?
Ah, I like singing all kinds of songs. I mean, it depends on what mood I am in. But
All right. So
I
let's
like
check.
subtle
What mood
songs.
are you in now?
No, oh my God, no, not right
Let's
now.
take it
You
down.
didn't.
Let's
You
check
you should
Christine's
have
mood
you should have
now.
briefed me. Oh my God,
Just
right now I'm
just
in
two
work
lines.
mode.
Just
This this
any of your favorite song. Just two
this.
lines. See, you are a
Oh
person
my
who doesn't,
God,
care
no.
about what people think about you, what they, say about you. You just live your life. So probably you can think I'm just asking you, to sing a song, and you just say probably I've visited your home or something. Just two lines for us.
I don't even.
Anything, any
You have
language.
thrown a question at me right now that has completely caught me off guard. And now I can't think of any song. Like I'm just blank in my head. I can't think of
Any
anything right
language
now.
will do.
Other days
We
you'll
just
find
want
me
to
humming
learn.
songs. Oh my
Just
lord.
Just one line, any of your favorite songs. See, you don't have to be perfect and all that. We are not judging here. There's not a reality singing show or something. So just one line for us. That's all. Just to pep
uh,
the weekend fever.
well, I like the song from Shania Twain, Still the One. That's the only thing that's coming to my mind right now.
So
So,
let's.
yeah. So it goes like this. Um, Looks like we've made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. Might have took a long way.
That's
They
such a
said
sweet
I
voice. You have such a sweet voice, and I don't know why
I
you
even
didn't
I
want to
even
sing
forgot
all this time.
I even forgot the lyrics. Oh my lord. Had you given me
You
a brief
actually have such a
that
sweet voice.
Christine,
You should actually continue,
oh my god.
taking up singing.
So
Seriously, you have such a sweet voice. I was actually
so
expecting more of it when you suddenly stopped. I was actually expecting more of
because I forgot the
you singing.
I
But that was
completely forgot the lyrics. Oh my
no
lord.
problem. But that was so sweet of you to have acknowledged, my request and to have sang a song, beat even a line. Probably we'll have another session where we could, have you singing
I'm not
for
singing.
us. You have a beautiful voice, yeah, believe me. It's not about being live or something. You really have a beautiful voice. So that I would
Thank you.
register today. That on this show that you really have a beautiful voice. All right. So
Thank
before
you.
we wrap it up, Christine, do you have any final thoughts about the live session that you did today, how it was, and anything that you'd want to tell our audience before we call it a wrap?
Um well, I definitely was nervous at start. Um but I'm glad that I got the opportunity to speak my mind. What I would like to say to everyone that's listening to the show or watching it, whether there's a man or a woman, is that you have to just be you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we all go through a lot of negative experiences in our lives. And more than positive, I think it's the negative experiences that actually make us the way we are.
Right.
That being said, you shouldn't let that define you. You shouldn't let that make you hard on yourself, you know, and it also shouldn't make you hard on someone else, you
Right.
know. I think you have to believe that getting hurt or making wrong decisions is part of your life, and you will do that because that is what makes us human being. Because we are all imperfect, we will do mistakes. Sometimes we do the same mistakes maybe 10 times, we still don't learn, and it's
Right.
okay. Because you don't have to have all of your ducks in a row. Sometimes one of them does get away, and it's okay,
Right.
because you will find a way to bring it back. You just have to feel, or rather feel grateful that in the situation that we're in right now, where so many of them have lost a lot of people in their lives. This year has been terrible on each one of us. We've lost a lot of people, so I think we should just be grateful for where we are right now in our lives. um, be thankful to the families that we have left. you know be more kind to each other, and also be more kind to our own selves, because
More
we
important.
believe in, yes, more importantly, because I think we believe in giving other people so many chances that we fail, that we should also give ourselves a chance, and feel for once how it feels to maybe actually feel happy, to actually feel loved, or to actually feel appreciative, you know and it's okay to leave anything that is toxic in your life, and try and find your happiness in something that you believe you will find in, and not worry about what anyone else is going to say or judge you, or comment about how your life is going to be in the next 5 years. Well, unless you have the damn crystal ball in your hand, zip your mouth, is my advice to the talkers. But the ones who actually want to make a change in their lives, I would say try and believe that there's always good in others that we have to see, you know, and not forget the good in ourselves as well. Because I think it takes very little to be kind to somebody or say something sweet or say something nice, you know. And
Mhm.
yeah, just
That's
smile, I would
that's
say.
actually a very deep, thought, and I think it came from your heart. So whatever the final words that you have told on our audience, it has actually come from your heart, from your life experiences, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you for being on our show today, and thank you
Thank
for having
you.
shared a lot of things, a lot of life lessons that you've given us today, and a lot of experiences that you've shared from your own life. Thank you so much. And it was lovely having you on our show. And
Thank you
all
for
the
having me
best
on the show.
and all the very best for your future with your boys.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you. I
so
really
much.
appreciate you reaching out and letting me talk. So yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, Christine. You've been a wonderful guest today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you,
Bye.
audience. Thank you for being back. Bye bye. And thank you, audience. Thank you for being with us. And thank you for having watched our show. So let's meet up at another with another guest at another show where the person would be sharing his or her life journey with us. And thanks for being part of the show. Good night.
Good night. Bye.